Hello everyone, it's Luli, and today I'm going to be telling you about Little Witch in the Woods and why you may or may not want to purchase this game. But before I start, I'd like to thank all of those who have supported me in Patreons, Ko-fis, tips. I truly appreciate it. Note that I have been working on Patreon exclusive content that if you'd like to check out, the link is in the description below. Also, I'd like to thank all of those who have supported me by boosting my server. That means a lot as well. And remember to click that like button and subscribe if you'd like more cozy and Otome content on your feed. And I think that's it. Let me start. So firstly, the plot. Little Witch in the Woods is about Ellie, the main character, who is about to become an apprentice to a master witch in this town. She's on this train on her way there, except it breaks down for reasons unknown and she's sort of stuck. Being the clutter brain that she is, she happens to see this glowing tree in the distance and is like, you know what, the train stopped, I'm going to go on an adventure. And so she goes off and discovers this tree, la da da da, and she finds this witch's house and then she decides to sleep in there because she doesn't want to sleep in the train. It's so weird. And then she wakes up and the train's gone. And it kind of starts from there. And of course, you're exploring, looking through the woods. And then eventually you, after various things that have happened, which I'm not going to spoil because I want you to explore it yourself. But eventually you come across a village, but discover that the village has been destroyed by these, like, spiky plants, nettles? No. Brambles, I think, yeah. And as a result, Ellie is like, I'm gonna help recover this village, and so start your quest of slowly tackling these ruins, trying to get rid of these spiky things. Think Sleeping Beauty, when like the Maleficent goes nuts, that sort of thing. And over time, I believe you get more and more villagers as you fix up the buildings. But of course, in order to do that, we need to use our witchy powers, which makes me bring this to the gameplay. Now, the gameplay is relatively formulaic. Obviously, the ultimate goal is to fix up this village to bring it back to its former glory. But in order to do that, you've got little quests here and there. You've got the main story quest where things are progressing as you explore what happened, essentially. But you've also got the side quests like making potions. And in order to do that, of course, you need to go and forage for ingredients. And these could be plants. They could be, things from cute animals. They could be bugs, depending on what you're looking for. And what's fun about this is it isn't just about going to get these ingredients. Ellie is also filling up this encyclopedia that she has, and you've got your little quilt, and every time you come across something you can choose to fill up a page, but I think you can fill up the page of each thing 3 times. There is a cooldown, so you can only do it once a day. But it is really fun seeing this encyclopedia page gather more and more information. And it's not just when you add information, but also when you forage or interact with objects that it fills up. So there's that nice, satisfying collecting information kind of feeling that I think is really enjoyable. Now, of course, once you collect all these ingredients, you would bring it back to the witch's house. Here you have your extractor, your grinder, and your cauldron. Now, what you tend to do is the ingredients can either be ground down to something else or extracted into, like, I guess, an essence. And then when you've got these things, you can finally make your potion. There are many different potions. Each one requires different essences or ground up stuff. And so you obviously need to go out to get those things, and then you bring it to the cauldron. And the potion making is actually quite, like, when I first did this, it kind of went wrong. I didn't understand the mechanics of, like, the stirring. And if you do want to check out my first look video, you'll see me like screwing up completely on my first try. But it basically involves putting in the ingredients, maintaining the little bar to the set like fire level, and then afterwards like mixing it. Big tip here, when you do the mixing, do it as slowly as possible. I've noticed the slower you do it, the more it like fills up quicker. But anyway, I'm going off on a tangent now. essentially you would make these potions, and then whatever potion required to either progress the story or to fulfill the quest, you would then make and then bring it to that person. So, sometimes it might be that you go to the board where sometimes quests appear, or it could be that you're talking to one of the witch catalog people or like the merchant, and they will ask you to make X number of potions in exchange for gold coins. And so, there is this kind of loop of every day. In order to either progress a story or finish these quests, you would go out, forage, get the ingredients, bring it back, ground it or extract it, turning it into a potion, then going to see whoever it is that asked for it, or bringing it and using it on whatever it is that you need to use it. And it's once you get into the rhythm of it, it's very addictive, because you're like, oh yeah, I need to do this next, I need to do that next, and there's always something constantly going on, and I really like it when a game does that, and especially when it's not too grindy. So I did enjoy this element of the game. Now, the people aren't there just for quests though. You can get to know them, and in the village, the number of villagers slowly increase, but every time you speak to them, you can either talk to them about a personal story, which increases your affection or whatever. And then once you've done that, you can also chit chat about different topics, and talking to them once every day, of course, increases that affection. And as an otome gamer, this is something I really adore. I'm not 100% sure whether there's romance yet, because I haven't got that far into the game, but if there is, I'd be really happy, because yeah, that's my favorite aspect in any sort of cozy game that's like this. I mean, I wouldn't say this is like Stardew Valley at all, because there's no farming, there's none of that stuff. But in terms of interacting with the villagers, I'm really hoping there's romance, because yeah, that would be big bonus points. So I've hyped up the game a lot, but let me tell you about not the logistics, but the important things that you should probably know before you go ahead and buy this game. So firstly, it is $15.99 right now, but the devs have said that once it's fully released, after about a month or two, the price is going to go up, because of it's, the fully released version. So definitely look around, see if you like this game, and buy it sooner than later, because otherwise you will be ending up spending more. So that's something to note. Also, another thing is that these devs actually released this in early access several years ago, I think in 2022. And while they did do updates for a bit, there was a kind of a period where no one heard anything, it was just quiet. And then they started, updating again. But I think because of that period of silence, some people were a bit iffy, unsure what the future of this game was. So obviously there's a little bit of that as well to consider. Also, they have listed what the full version is going to include, which is new villagers, new unrepaired areas, new stories, new theme, as well as obviously the bug fixes, quality of life adjustment. However, they haven't really expanded on that, so I think some are kind of curious as to what extent of these additional things they're going to be, if that makes sense. So these are things to consider. As for in terms of gameplay, I want you to know that if you do buy this game, oh my god, the prologue, it goes on and on and on and on. I highly recommend you put Friends or Big Bang Theory or something on in the background while you do the prologue, because really I didn't know when it was going to end, and because it's all tutorial, and I really don't like tutorial, I won't lie to you, quite bored for the first maybe hour or so. So if you do purchase this game, please do give it more than an hour, because at least get to chapter 1, because that's only then do you start getting into the flow of things. And if that's something that you can't deal with, if you don't think you could get through the prologue, then obviously that's something to note as well. One last thing, this is not a farming game. It is literally quests, stories, and that involves, foraging and then making potions, that sort of thing. There is no farming whatsoever. So in that sense, it is not like Story of Seasons or Stardew Valley at all. It's yeah, it's its own thing, I would say. Also, because of the story element, there is a lot of text. So if you're someone who doesn't really like reading, then this may not be a game for you because there is quite a bit of reading. To summarize, I would give this game so far about a 7.5 out of 10. Obviously, I'm only basing it on the early access. The full version is going to be, you know, a lot more to it, so I can't really say how I'm going to find that, but so far I have been really enjoying it. I'm not really one that's usually for farming games, so I guess I'm kind of glad in some ways that it's not yet another Story of Seasons game type of thing. The biggest, I think, plus for me is the cute creatures, like little fluffy rabbits. Oh my god, my heart. I didn't know I could hold them until like, it's really dumb. There are so many things that I didn't realize I could interact with, and then later down the line, I'm like, oh my god, that was so stupid that I didn't do that. But the bunnies are one of those things where you pick them up, and my heart. And there are all these other creatures as well that you can interact with. Obviously, the encyclopedia then makes things more fun too. It's almost like going around collecting Pokemon. Like, you don't collect them, but you're making little images of them in your little notebook, and it's just so wholesome, you know? And I also like the fact that there's always so much to do. Like, there's never a moment where I'm like, okay, I don't know what to do now. It's like constant. And I really like that in a game. And while it is quite a lot of text, and sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, I don't actually care about the story. It's nice to have like a bit of like a, you know, a linearity, if you want to call it that. And yeah, I'm looking forward to exploring the relationships with the villagers more and finding out what more villagers there are going to be. And yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. I mean, obviously it's not for everyone, but it hits the like sweet spot for me. But anyway, I think that's all I have to say. Do ask me any questions in the comments below. As always, guys, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content, and hopefully I will see you in another one of my videos or streams. Bye!